Hey, what's going on, everybody? Got a new review for you guys. Let me move this camera. There you go. It's a little better. I got a new review for you today. Very interesting and strange film. It's not a horror movie. Um, it's not an exploitation movie. They call it a neo-film noir, which is fairly accurate. I guess there's also some thriller aspects to it, but it's very interesting and very odd. But it is Synapse's South of Heaven. I mean, if you can't tell by the cover there, uh, pretty wild stuff. It's from Synapse. Don't know if I said that or not. I may have already said that. Basically, Roy Coop has just been released from the Navy, and he is on his way home to live with his brother, Dale Coop. Um, Roy is writing a novel, and Roy and Dale feel that this is their sort of ticket to Easy Street, as they say. Um, that this is going to be $1 million book, and it's just going to make them all kinds of money. Um, but when Roy gets home, Dale is not there. Um, and Dale has gotten himself into some trouble. Roy finds this out when two, as the back cover calls them, vaudevillains, show up, um, sort of dressed as two guys dressed as like a barbershop quartet outfits. The weird hat and the suspenders and matching jackets, and it's very interesting. But he finds out that Dale has gotten into some trouble with some bad people, and well, at first these two men don't believe that he is who he says he is. They think he's Dale. Um, but over time they begin to believe him, but still he's the only one that they think might have some answers, so they're going to try to get the information out of him. Roy loses some fingers, and they catch his face on fire. And this pretty much turns him into a vengeance-fueled maniac. He wraps his face up and goes after Dale and goes after to save Dale from the guy who's gotten him into this trouble, a man named Mad Dog Manti, who is played by Shea Wingham, who apparently was in Machete. I don't remember him in Machete, but he is in Boardwalk Empire right now. He plays Nucky Thompson's brother that's a cop. Um, D.R. Baird's also in this, and I have only seen Schindler's List once, but Alina Lowenson from Schindler's List. She plays Veronica. Um, very interesting movie. The way that this thing is shot and the style that they make it look, it's very much. It's almost. Um, it's almost like watching a play. The sets are intentionally very fake. When they're outside, and I'm sure this was intentional, intentionally like matte paintings behind them and stuff, and the sets are just obviously fake, and the style of dialogue in this is very, it's southern yet old-fashioned. If I were to pick a time period that this were supposed to take place in, they don't tell you, but I'm guessing 20s, 30s, maybe. That's just a guess. I could be wrong. They don't tell you. But just by the style of dress and the style of the way that they speak, um, I get that impression. It's extremely stylized, and it's really cool. The way that the whole movie just looks. The whole look of the movie is awesome. Um, It boasts that there's, violence and stuff in it. There is, but it's sort of, some of it's done sort of in the shadows and off screen. There is a little bit of on screen violence, but it's nothing too over the top or crazy. But, in that whole noir sort of style, the violence in the shadows sort of makes sense. I really, really loved it. I just thought it was different. It was, just the look of this whole thing is unbelievable. Um, there are, there is a part, well, there's a section sort of in the middle, where things sort of slow down. The only problem I really had with this movie was, one, now this is probably attributed to his character, but Mad Dog, is that his name, Shea Wingham's character, the way he speaks, it's sometimes hard to understand him. He speaks with a thick sort of, I wouldn't say southern accent, but country accent. And he doesn't enunciate a lot, so it's kind of difficult sometimes to hear what he's saying. And then the only other thing was the pace of it. I was not a fan of the pace. I wouldn't say it's dialogue driven, but there's a lot of dialogue in it, and I don't know that the dialogue is interesting enough. It's interesting, it's well written, but I don't know that it's interesting enough to carry it the way it wanted to be carried. There were parts that got a little long-winded. There were parts that I got a little bored with, but overall, it's a very, very different and interesting film. I really enjoyed it as a whole, and anybody into anything sort of offbeat, over stylized, um, and it's sort of a thriller. So maybe anybody into thrillers might dig this. It's just a really off the wall, sort of strange, really cool flick. I would recommend it to almost anybody. Features wise, there's not a whole lot, as in makings of. You only get 3 short films from the director J.L. Vara, Miserable Orphan, Azole something, I have no idea what it says, and A Boy and His Fetus. And then you have 3 commentary tracks featuring director Shea Wingham and other cast and crew, a critic commentary featuring Todd Brown, Scott Weinberg, and Devin Faraci. But anyway, yeah, pretty cool flick, really different. This is the kind of thing that you kind of, when you're really bored with the kind of cinema you've been seeing coming out of Hollywood, I guess, or anywhere, if you're just kind of sick of seeing the same old crap over and over, this is something you would want to pop in. So it kind of revitalizes your spirit in cinema. We need more people to do things like this, just different and not the same old stuff. So I really dug it. South of Heaven is pretty awesome. 1 week until the contest is over, so get your entries in. I just got another entry this morning. I think someone else told me they're going to enter. So get them in. You got 1 more week, and the contest closes next Friday at midnight. So get them in before the 21st at midnight, and then I will do the drawing probably on Monday. If I were to do, I can't do these videos on the weekend when my girlfriend's here, because I would wake her up and she would get irritated at me. So I do them during the week. I have to do them during the week before my son gets up. So yeah, 1 more week. South of Heaven, awesome shit. Check it out. I'll see you later.